There has been a non-Yu-Gi-Oh person making a video related to Yu-Gi-Oh. In that video, they do things like make smelly Yu-Gi-Oh player jokes and all the different stereotypes and stuff like that. Truly a horrible thing that has occurred, clearly. Alright, I'm gonna watch the video without any preconcessions and stuff. Let's just jump in and see what's going on here. At the same time, I don't really understand what the problem is here, but we'll have a look. Okay, this is from Papa Meat. This video has over 1 million views in just 4 days. Let's check it out.
Just to let you guys know that we have a new channel out called Meaty Magic. If you like Magic the Gathering content, you can go there and subscribe.
Oh, that looks pretty cool.
Go yourself. Enjoy the video.
Long ago, when the pyramids were still young, Egyptian kings played a game of great and terrible power. But these shadow kings erupted into a war that threatened to destroy the entire world. Until a brave and powerful
Is this AI Yugi?
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit on down because today we're talking about trading card games. Mostly the tournaments, the people, the fandoms. And let me tell you guys, trading card games is not what it used to be. It used to be something, it's a lot like what I imagine like D&D is, right? Then all of a sudden you have that Eddie Munson guy from Stranger Things, and now girls finger their thinking about D&D. It's not what it was back in the day. It used to buy that stuff in private. You play with your boys, and then you would feel really embarrassed, and you feel kind of gay if somebody caught you playing it. But
That's some early 2000s humor there. Holy shit.
TCG trading card games have experienced a remarkable surge.
Is this YC? Is this a YCS?
Over the years,
no,
mostly
it's Magic.
through the pandemic of people hoarding cards, not only for content but big polls, right? Franchises like
shout outs to Moist opening every set of Yu-Gi-Oh ever 81 times.
Digimon's back. I would have never expected. Yu-Gi-Oh! And even the One Piece card game is seeing a bunch of love.
Please no spoilers.
Right now. And yes, even MetaZoo, they're not even around anymore, did contribute to the growth of the trading card game.
Is that the Logan
that
Paul thing that was a scam?
The guy being like, what the hell am I supposed to do with all my MetaZoo cards now? But much of this increased interest can be attributed
okay, there's
to
some
the
drama that I
pandemic,
missed there.
People had extra stimmy funds to spend on Kraken packs. Instead of spending it on bills and water and food, people were like, I'm gonna get a Pokemon pack of cards and then I'll flip it and have even more stimmy money. And then you also had high-profile individuals like Logan Paul and Post Malone entering the TCG collecting scene, which further...
He did a video with, what's his name?
Grace. I mean, you had Logan
That's
Paul.
cool.
I think he even had like a case that he wore around his neck when he was in the WWE. He like pulled a Charizard. It was like a Pikachu thing, or
Pikachu art. He bought it for 5.3 million.
5.3 million.
And then he.
Sorry, the Paul dude spent 5.3 million on a Charizard. That's a lot of money for a Charizard. That's and it's a tax write-off. That guy didn't pay any tax on that because that's probably considered like costume wear for his walk-in at WrestleMania. That's crazy.
He did something where you could basically he sold 50% of it.
Yeah, you like own part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't fucking know. And then Post Malone has so much fuck you money that he's basically like. Also, like Wizards is just like, what'd you say? I had some help. It ain't. You want a custom card? We'll do it for. I don't care. And then there was the Lord of the Rings set, and the guy pulled the One Ring. There was a very special card called the One Ring. It was a 1 of 1. It was the most expensive Magic card ever, and Post Malone bought it for like $2 million, $2.2 million, or something like that. Now he just has. I had some help. I made the bottom out of myself. Don't act like you. But one might.
I don't know what he just said. I don't know what he just said.
Stocks of gold, right? But at its core, these card games are meant to be played. And beneath the layer of casual play lies a competitive tournament scene with its own
That was the first ever clip I saw of Boogie. What even happened to him?
And this is where the real shit is. If you're sitting there and you're just like, I'm cracking some packs because we just like it. I'm doing a stream later if you guys want to come by and watch me crack some packs. I hope I pull a Charizard. That you want to talk to the people going to a fucking strip mall card shop playing tournaments. Everyone smells like hell, and it's like being. I would attribute it. This is gonna be a bold statement to say, but I would attribute it to trench warfare in World War I. I would say which one's worse. I don't know. Dying of toxic gas or sitting next to a morbidly obese guy with back pimples eating Taiwanese food right out of a wet styrofoam. Oh my god, one of those styrofoam containers. You know what I mean? He's just like, what'd you do? He's just sweating profuse, like, fuck, it's horrible. So, let's take a look at the strange and stinky world of trading card games.
Okay, that was an introduction, I guess. That was definitely an intro. Some real edgy humor going on here, which is whatever, you know. I guess it was a description and a summary of what trading card games are. Fair enough.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it feels like something you would have seen on the internet like maybe 5 to 10 years ago.
Stereotypes of the trading card game player or the
oh, stereotypes. Here comes the good part.
Nerdy games such as this tend to bring out a lot of strange characters to public events and often attach negative stereotypes to the trading card communities. So this is where people sit there and they're just like, I'm not very social, right? They're social butterflies here, right? Just all they do is talk. My God. But first I want to talk about, most of them are found to be rather gross and pretty stinky. It's easy to look at them, right? It's easy to have eyes and a nose,
That's a
right?
4chan 2006 meme.
Almost every trading card player is that they have a reputation for being incapable of basic hygiene, unable to wash themselves, wipe properly. I have that problem sometimes. You know, I had a whole thing about people saying that.
What?
I had no idea. How do you wipe? What do you do with your toilet paper?
So I grab 3 sheets and then I fold it in half.
Who is he talking to? Because when I make videos, I don't have someone on Discord like watching me record. Like that sounds like that would be really uncomfortable, right? Like if I just had like Vlad on Discord permanently, like while I record myself, like that Stanley the Ghost, yeah. Is this a normal way to edit? Like maybe I'm not up there in the content creation sphere enough, but I don't just have a guy like just. Oh, I guess it is just a cameraman, I suppose. They're just friends, you know. Also, yeah, how to wipe? Look, man, you gotta get yourself a bidet. All right, it's really that simple. I don't know how anyone can do a number 2 without access to water. That's crazy to me that there are people who touch their derriere without access to H2O. That's baffling to me.
So you do a fold?
Yeah, fold.
I've had some people say they fold or they wrap around their hand. It's a nice smooth thing like that.
The fucking
well, let me tell you something.
gauntlet of ass wiping.
And I bunch it up like that, and then I wipe my ass. But apparently I wasn't digging hard enough. All I know is that people were like, that is an inferior way, because my whole thing was that if I bunched the toilet paper...
Look, man, I'm sure there's like a tutorial out there, but whatever the case is, just a little bit of moisture is required. Otherwise, you just have like crusty ass for the whole day.
Like this, and I
why are we talking about this in the video? Like, listen, it's important that we get the semantics out of the way of how to...
It's basically mudding it down in your ass. All I'm saying is I sympathize with these people. They don't bathe, maybe don't wipe good enough, definitely don't brush them teeth. No deodorant, you know, nothing. No clean clothes. The basic hygiene essentials, right?
Stinky farts.
Stinky farts. Which if you
Okay, come on, dude. Right, like, can we do a new joke now?
fart and it doesn't.
It's like me with baby
I
Sarasaurus.
played this one game. I think in 2nd grade, and I had to forfeit because my player was farting too much.
You're at a trading card tournament, and so you forfeited the match because the guy was like.
Well, what happened was I was playing, and then my brother.
You're like.
There's no way this happened, right?
Awful.
And a lot of new players are absolutely shocked at the smell.
My first ever regional was 20 more minutes of this. Okay, if this is just 20 more minutes of fart jokes, like I'm not gonna be able to get through this, man. My first ever regional, 2014, yeah, January, February 2014, almost 11 years today. It was my first ever regional tournament. It was round 5, and I played against a player that was so putridly stinking, who smelled so bad, I could not breathe. I could not, like, I was choking the entire time. This was obviously way before, like, the hygiene rules that were initiated in policy. I mean, it was my first ever tournament. I don't know what you do there. Call a judge and be like, sir, my opponent smells too much. Like, when I tell you that this person, like, I'm not joking when I thought it was the inside of a graveyard and an actual coffin. It was so bad. And I didn't know what to do in that situation. But when someone gives a story this ridiculous, I just think back to my first ever regional and think, you know what? Maybe they're not wrong. Maybe this has actually, like, happened. Because, yeah, some people have pretty poor hygiene, admittedly. It's not the norm, I feel like, but it does creep up a lot, I guess.
Smells that come out of local tournaments. I mean, if you better buckle
What did he play?
It's so bad that a lot of local card shops have had to display signs.
I feel like if I say what he played, it might, like, in some way give who it was, but probably not. But, I mean, it was a harpy player. So I'm sure there's a stereotype in there somewhere, but it was a harpy player.
Outside stores urging players to bathe and to wear deodorant before attending events. The store owner has to beg and plead to its customer base, just saying, please put on some Old Spice before you come in, please. Just put on clean socks. But in 2024, a Japanese man recounts his experience at a Yu-Gi-Oh event where he overheard a woman expressing that this was her very first tournament. And already,
I remember this story.
He noticed that she left the event early. First off, I want to say, why was he scouting her so much?
I bet he was like, oh, she's so beautiful. I bet she's the only girl.
Like one of the only girls there. He's just like... He noticed that she left the event early, and then he even made a tweet about it later, talking about his, his frustrations with the aggressive nature of Yu-Gi-Oh players, making it too hard for new players to come in. They're bullying people out of the game, god damn it. His tweet went...
I don't know about that. I don't think that's true. And if it did happen, it's like, well, I mean, if you go to a tier 2 event, which is the highest level of competitive play for the average player outside of the World Championship, I mean, if you duel against someone and they don't know what their cards do, it's like, listen, you go to a tier 2 event, right? You should know how your cards work. You should know the rules of the game, right? I feel. Is that like, I don't know, like the specifics and the details of what happened, but if someone is at a YCS and they're struggling to really understand how the game works, it's like, well, listen, look, you're at a YCS, right? Like, there's the degree of expectation for the quality of play that you should be able to offer, or knowledge of the game per se. Controversial take, I don't know, maybe that's elitist of me, maybe I'm gatekeeping, but that just feels like the standard of what it should be at a tier 2 event, but I don't know. Never stopped you from attending one. Hey, fuck off!
I hope people don't come to hate Yu-Gi-Oh. If you're a man, please be a little bit kinder to women, even if it's just a little bit. It sounds bad to say I'm going easy on you, so if I'm up against a man, I'll beat him to a pulp, no matter if he's a beginner or whatever. When the other person is a woman, hey, if there are more female duelists, there will only be benefits for men, so please support us. So it seems like, if it's a woman, I will tip my cap and say, my lady, let's just have some fun and not be competitive.
Who wrote this?
Oh, this guy's a douche. Also, that makes the whole thing about him.
I mean, he's not wrong, right? Like, I'm gonna OTK combo you whether you're a man or a woman. Or I'm gonna misplay and fuck it up.
Fucking are so much more creepy, doesn't it? Where will you go, love?
I mean, it's not wrong. Like,
so soon. But this post gained a lot of traction, and eventually, the woman being referred to in the post found the tweet and responded to it. I saw this because it was circulating, but considering the circumstances, it might.
Oh, she replied.
But I left halfway through because I couldn't stand the smell. It's not like I lost or was sad. I like how she's just like, it's a game. I was there because people were shitting their pants, and
Jesus Christ,
it just smelled like salty peanut butter and shame. And then no wonder the numbers of female duelists aren't increasing. There are some stinky female duelists. She's like, there's some stinky pussy out there.
I mean, I guess that's just a recollection of an actual experience of a woman that went to an event in Japan, I mean, that's like, it is what it is. Yu-Gi-Oh players can sit here and complain about, oh, they're just making the same jokes about a stinky play. Well, I mean, you have a Yu-Gi-Oh player that went to an event and then left because it smelled so bad. What do you say to that, community, right?
They're two boys, don't worry. I like to think if I was a woman, credit card swipe, like that, and I'd say, I played my... Yeah, okay, whatever. According to people who attended tournaments, it is not uncommon for certain...
I don't know where he was going with that joke.
...on hand in case a player is accused of smelling unbearably bad. It has become a common topic of discussion. If you are throwing a tournament, why would you not just spend $40 on the event and just have them be like, bro. You know what I mean? At what point are people like, sorry.
That'd be so embarrassing.
Oh, fuck you. I'd say good. Make it be him, because then next time, guess who's gonna shower up? Probably not him. Yeah, I'm not going to learn. He's like mocking you. In the r/Pokemon trading card game subreddit, someone does it always smell this bad? I love that question. Does it? Like, eyes glimmering. I played in my first tournament hosted in a game shop yesterday, and once the competitors started coming in, the place really began to stink. Like unwashed clothes or something. Mold is what they're saying.
Anyone here big into like music and like going to clubs and concerts and shit? Like, I assume it's probably like the same thing, right? You put like a large amount of people into a confined space. Like, that's just gonna happen, right? I don't know if this is like a uniquely trading card game thing, but I assume if you go to like a Taylor Swift concert, it's probably stanky, right? I assume it's surely like kind of similar. At those shows, people tend to sweat a bunch. I guess it is different because you are like physically being very active compared to a TCG where you're just sitting down and playing. But I mean, this just to some extent feels like it is just a confined space type of issue. Can we stop watching this? I lost hope of it getting better at this point. I'm just wondering what the next like 20 minutes is. Like, surely this isn't a 27-minute, like, smell review. You know, like, that's... Are we just saying the same thing for 27 minutes? Like...
I still enjoyed myself, but I felt almost nauseous.
Right, let me
at times.
speed it up.
It's making me hesitant to go next week. Is this a common occurrence in the TCG world? Why does it have to be? Why does it have to be this way? If so, and some people responded. The first time I walked into a comic/card shop with a tournament going on, it transported me back to grade
school. I mean, I will say though, as a content creator, this is like a really well put together, you know, put together video. Like editing on this is like fantastic. The cutaways are great. Like, I mean, I can see why he's a popular content creator. Like, this is like very good to watch. You know, it's very like comfortable to watch. But like the content itself, I mean. Like, we're 10 minutes in, it's like, okay, yes, smell, you know?
School gym class when all the kids were just figuring out the smell, except it was adult men, mostly men.
That brings me back because in middle school, I don't think I washed my gym clothes once the entire year.
Just like steep.
Couldn't waterboard that information out of me, dude.
Piss and sweat shorts, whatever. Yeah. I feel like the big thing back then was nobody washed their shit, but then the only thing was like Axe body spray just came out. So the people, it's basically just fumigating all the fucking watchers, just like, and you like visibly see the Axe in the air. Oh.
It is kind of just like every smell trope for the last like 10 years compiled into one video. All right, let me read this random post here. Here we go. I went to my first play night at my local car shop the other day, and there was this guy with a playmat that was basically just Nami naked. Like, the only thing you couldn't see were her nipples. Well, I mean, at least they've got censorship. Right? At least there's censorship. Okay, so they're respecting some type of decency here. Anyway... I guess it's just all a bunch of different stereotypes that you see here. At this point, Jordan felt threatened as Haven also starts to stand up and call 911. Players are calling for the head judge to come over to attempt to defuse the situation. What the hell is going on here? Oh, I think I read about this. Yeah, there was like a police incident at like a card shop. Okay, fair enough. All right, so it's a 30-minute video documenting all of the bad things that happen in the trading card world. Look, I don't know why Yu-Gi-Oh players on Twitter have been so mad at this. Like, okay, sure. Have you considered that maybe not all the content on the internet is for you? Like, this is the horror. Most people watching this probably don't play trading card games. It's a fine video, right? Like, if you've never seen or heard of this kind of stuff before, it's probably very amusing, right? Like, all of these stories being recounted. Like, I completely forgot about this one, which is, like...
I was there because people were shitting their pants.
Something that actually happened was there was this, like, Japanese duelist that actually complained about the smell and quit an event. Because of the smell, right? Like, I forgot that actually happened. So, I mean, it's hard to, like, sit here and, you know, complain about this kind of stuff. Oh, they keep making fun of us. It's like, well, I mean, it is clearly, you know, a problem, right? It's just normie content. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's like, it's a good video, ultimately. I don't think it's supposed to be taken that seriously. What is this, copy pasta? What have you done? Listen up, we don't smell bad. We're just too busy thinking to shower. Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't a casual game. It's a mental marathon. We're sweating because we're calculating 15 moves ahead. Planning the perfect combo. It's not BO, it's the scent of strategy. Next time you smell something, just know it's the fragrance of genius and not grime. Anyway, I can see why Meat Canyon, Papa Meat, what's his name? I've never heard of this content creator before. I can see why he's popular. His videos are very easy to watch. They're pretty fun to follow along with. The content itself and the jokes are not really something I would sit and enjoy personally, but I don't see what the problem is here. This is just Yu-Gi-Oh! Players making a nothing burger out of something yet again. Like, it just feels like if you've been somehow offended by this, it's like, I mean, what is it like a personal attack? Like, why the need to feel personally attacked here? You know, unless like it applies to you. Like, what's the issue? Click on the third suggested video. It's a response. The death of restaurants. Yeah, rip Hooters. Anyway. All right, let's move on.